Hey there, beautiful souls. Are you feeling drained, lost, or completely overwhelmed after leaving a narcissistic abusive relationship? Do you find yourself constantly battling for peace in your own life? Let me tell you this right now. You are not selfish for wanting peace, and you are not wrong for wanting to protect your energy. In fact, setting boundaries is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. I'm going to show you how to reclaim your peace and your power even after the chaos of narcissistic abuse. I'll give you 4 specific phrases you can use to set boundaries with a narcissist. Stick with me to the end because I've got something pretty special. It's an offer for you, completely free, something that will help you take the next steps forward in your healing journey. All right, let's get into why boundaries are so important. Let's get real for a moment. After enduring narcissistic abuse, boundaries may feel like an impossible thing to establish. Maybe you've tried before and it felt like they didn't stick. Or worse, the narcissist just bulldoze right over them. Give me a thumbs up if you have ever experienced that. Thumbs up this video. Absolutely. I have definitely been ignored for boundaries that I have set. Here's the thing. Boundaries are not selfish. They are essential. They're your emotional shield. They protect your heart, your mind, and your beautiful. They're the key to surviving, thriving, and ultimately healing from the toxic energy you've been exposed to. I'll be honest with you. Setting boundaries wasn't something that came naturally to me after my narcissistic abusive relationship. I remember at times when I let some things slide by because I didn't want to rock the boat or cause drama. I was constantly walking on eggshells, unsure of how to protect myself from the emotional chaos. And let me tell you, it took me years to realize that my peace was worth protecting. There was one moment in particular after I left the ex where I realized I had been allowing his manipulative tactics to continue to affect me, even though we are no longer together. But he would call, text, and try to pull me back into the drama. I would fall for it every time, but I knew I had to make a change. I had to do it for myself and for my children. It wasn't easy, but I began setting firm, clear boundaries. How did I do it? Now, let's talk about what this actually looks like. How do you start setting boundaries with a narcissist? First, you need to know that boundaries are clear. They're not open to negotiation. Here are a few practical tips and phrases that I want you to start using today. Tip number 1 is to be clear and firm. When a narcissist tries to overstep, you need to stand your ground. Don't second guess yourself. For example, you can say, I don't feel comfortable discussing this right now. Let's talk later. Or, this behavior is not acceptable and I'm not going to engage in it. No room for gray areas. Be direct. Tip number 2 is to protect your time. A narcissist will try to manipulate your time, but your time is yours. Say things like, I'm not available for this conversation, or I can't give you my time today, but I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk. I had a client, and let's name her Sarah, who was recently in a narcissistic relationship, but still trying to co-parent with her ex. He constantly called her all hours of the day, demanding her attention, or tried to drag her into long emotional conversations about things that weren't relevant to their co-parenting. Sarah felt obligated to answer every call, even when she was in the middle of work or spending time with her children, because she feared his reaction. And I totally get that. She was constantly interrupted and her time felt like it wasn't her own. It was draining and left her feeling mentally exhausted. unable to focus on her personal life or her career. She knew she needed to establish boundaries, but she wasn't sure how. We worked together on tip number 2, protecting your time. It helps Sarah realize that her time was sacred and that she didn't owe her ex every minute of her day. We practiced some phrases she could use to firmly set boundaries. For example, the next time he called during a time that wasn't appropriate, Sarah simply said, "I'm not available for this conversation right now, but I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk." At first, of course, Sarah felt hesitant and nervous about his response. That is a normal feeling. But she stuck to it. And you know what? It worked. By setting that simple boundary, she gained control of her time. She was able to prioritize her own needs and her kids' needs without constantly being pulled into the emotional manipulation of her ex. She now feels more in control in her life, and the calls have decreased as he's learned that she wouldn't engage on his terms anymore. All right, just wanted to share that because that's a real life example of what happens when you start setting boundaries. Let's get into tip number 3, which is limit contact. It's okay to block numbers, mute conversations, or set specific hours when you're willing to engage. A simple, "I'm only available to talk during these hours," is a powerful boundary to set. Tip number 4, keep emotions out of it. You don't need to explain your boundaries in details, and you certainly don't need to justify them. Remember, boundaries are about protecting your peace. You can say something like, "I'm not willing to continue this conversation," and just leave it at that. All right. If you're wondering how to go deeper with this, I have something special for you. I created a free 5-day bootcamp called Empowered Renewal, 5 Days to Transform Your Life After Narcissistic Abuse. Inside this bootcamp, we'll not just work on your boundaries, but how to reclaim your peace, your confidence, and your emotional well-being. I dive into everything from mindset shifts to practical tools that will help you to step in your power. If you want to join, the link is in the description below. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this one. Just 5 days, 1 hour per day is going to create transformation in your life. I have already seen it with those who have joined. So remember, boundaries aren't just about shutting people out. They're about making room for you. When you start setting boundaries, you're sending a message to yourself that your peace matters, that you are worthy of respect, love, and safety. The more you practice this, the stronger your emotional muscles will get. And eventually, you realize that your power was never lost. It was just hidden beneath the weight of the toxic relationship. I want to invite you to a community of incredible women where we are all on the same journey of healing, growth, and empowerment. I have a private support group where we dive into topics just like this: setting boundaries, reclaiming power, and rebuilding lives after narcissistic abuse. The links are in the comment below. Come join us. I promise you, you are not alone in this journey. Thank you so much for watching this video. Whether you're new here or returning, I know it can feel lonely and overwhelming at times, but I want you to know that healing is possible and you are stronger than you think. Keep practicing those boundaries. Take care of your peace and remember that your power is yours to reclaim. I believe in you and I'm here with you every step of the way. Until next time, take care of yourself and stay strong. You've got this.